Hey family, MarshaunO here, your favorite life and relationship strategist, and you keep coming back because you want to be a part of the top 1% of couples that have extraordinary relationships. Here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen, I'm coming here today to give you some words of encouragement because I actually released the video, the top 10 keys in order to have an extraordinary relationship, basically the areas that you need to work on in order to have an extraordinary relationship. And I'm coming here today to give you some words of encouragement because maybe you are feeling some type of way. How do I do this? Why should I do this? I know that I need to do this, but am I ready to do this? Is my relationship ready for the changes, the things that need to happen in order to create an extraordinary relationship? And if you have not seen that video, then after this one, definitely go ahead and check out that video. And of course, give me a thumbs up on both of them. Now, with that being said, the words of encouragement that I'm here to give you is to let you know that you are not alone in feeling even overwhelmed, maybe feeling scared, frightened, frustrated, having a little guilt party behind that video, because building an extraordinary relationship, actually, you need to have courage in order to do that. Why I say courage? Because anytime you get out of your comfort zone, it's going to feel scary. That you're gonna have some butterflies or some anxiety, some things running through your system that's telling you that it is not okay where you're at. Although you want to jump out of that box that you've been in, your comfort zone, even if you know that your comfort zone is actually causing you more pain than it is helping you, you still revert back to what you know. And that's what a lot of us do. So you are not alone in the fact that even though theoretically you know that the things that you're continuously doing, like yelling and screaming and cussing and name calling, none of that serves you. None of it serves the relationship. You still have a tendency to continue to do those things because you already know what those things will bring you, even if it's the harm, even if it's the not talking, even if it's the distance. You're comfortable there, even though you know that you don't even like it, but it also is not serving or helping you become closer to your spouse. You're still doing it. So the courage comes into play when it's time to do something different, because you do not know how this thing is going to turn out. So for instance, you know that you two have had an argument and you really just want to reach out and touch or reach out and hug your partner or spouse, so you guys can actually talk about what's going on, why things went down the rabbit hole, why the yelling and screaming actually occurred. So literally you can get to the root of the issue so you can move forward. But instead of you doing that, you allow this fear, this anxiety, this fear of being rejected. What will he or she say? What will he or she do when you reach out to touch or to hug him or her? Is it going to be reciprocal? So because you don't know, that touch never happens. That hug never happens. That whatever you want to say never happens. You rethink because you don't know how he or she is going to react. Anytime you're trying to do and create something new, it takes courage to do. I don't know how many motivational videos or words of encouragement or anything like that you follow, but if you have followed them, I follow them. And one of the stories that I hear all the time is about Benjamin Franklin and the light bulb. Am I saying that right? Is it Benjamin Franklin? Pretty sure it's Benjamin Franklin. I heard the story so much and now I'm second guessing myself. Anywho, and how after 999 experiments, someone came to him and was basically like, do you feel like a failure? I'm paraphrasing. Do you feel like a failure? And he basically said, no. I actually found out 999 different ways of not to create the light bulb. Like, he didn't take it personal, but he kept going. He kept going. And finally, he became successful at it, which is why each and every one of us have light bulbs in our household, because he kept going. He didn't stop. Your relationship is no different. Because it's new, you are going to get frustrated. You are going to be scared out of your mind because you just don't know. Well, the winners, the people that get to the top 1% of couples to have an extraordinary relationship, they never stop pushing through. Even when they're scared, they do it. Even when they don't know what the outcome is going to be, they do it. Even when the topic of conversation is something that has been plaguing the relationship for months, for years, they're like, you know what? Enough is enough. I can no longer sweep this thing under the rug. It is crippling me. It is crippling our relationships. And so now it's time for me to do something about it. They have the difficult conversation. And ladies and gentlemen, you have to do the exact same thing. You have to put on your big girl and big boy underwear, scared and all, reach out and touch your spouse. Reach out and hug your partner. Reach out and say, I'm sorry. Reach out and say, you know what? I did not handle that situation the best. I didn't even think about what your needs were. So can we actually have the conversation without the yelling, without the screaming, so I can understand who you are? Ladies and gentlemen, that takes much more courage than you can believe. And I'm sure I am not alone, because even though I know all of this stuff theoretically, I still get frightful when it's time for me to speak up for myself, because you are going to be your only advocate. Yes, we are in partnerships, but we all teach people how to treat us, including and especially our spouses, our partners. And sometimes because we are so comfortable with one another, we have a tendency to be disrespectful, not on purpose, but it does happen. And so when that happens, you need to call your partner or spouse on it, because if you don't, he or she will continue to do that very thing that you hate, which leads to distance between the two of you. Doesn't lead to closeness. It leads to distance. It leads to resentment building up. It leads to your sex life going downhill. It leads to being disrespectful even more, or it leads to revenge, because now I got to pay you back. All of that is going down a slippery slope of the demise of the relationship, whether it's a breakup, whether it's a divorce, whether it's, a ghost, right? You just never hear from that person ever again. All of that comes from you, and I'm saying you because you're the one who's watching this. All of that comes from you not walking in your fear and still doing that thing that scares you half to death, which is usually having a conversation with the one person that you say that you love, the one person that you say that you respect, the one person that you're having children with, hopefully. Shade. Yep. My point, ladies and gentlemen, the only way to get to an extraordinary relationship is to tap into the courage that you need to verbalize what your needs are, verbalize what your wants are, actually show up and show your spouse or partner love the way he or she needs it, not the way that you want to just give it out to him or her. Being vulnerable. Like I talked about, I'm not going to go too deep into it in this video, because I literally just talked about the 10 keys. Vulnerability was one of them. Having the tough conversations was one of them. Go and see that video. This one is about you having the courage to actually stand up, the courage to face your fears, the courage to be vulnerable, so you can create the deepest intimacy within your relationship, with your partner, with your spouse. Let me know down in the comment section especially if you've watched that video, which is the 10 keys to creating an extraordinary relationship. Let me know down in the comment section below if I am not alone in the fact that this can be scary, but it's also well worth it. So if you are willing to move and push past your scary feelings, on the other side is the joy. On the other side is the connection. On the other side is the hugs and kisses, is the intimacy, is the beautiful sex, is the fun times that you only been thinking about or been longing to get back to. You have to put yourself out there. You have to be courageous in the beginning to get to the top 1%. I hope that I have helped you out there. I hope that I have. And if I have, let me know down in the comment section below. Again, give me thumbs up. Go check out that video. The 10 keys to creating an extraordinary relationship. I know that you will enjoy that one as well. I love you guys, and there's nothing that you can do about it. I will see you in the very next video. 2 finger salute, y'all.